bludgeoning, just in case that they go and start pounding on me. Sometimes they get a turn where they go and they punch you, and that can be extremely scary. So let's see what happens. I'm going to go to bed now.
The events of the last day,
And we're going to skip the video here. And here is the fight. Let's see the initiative. I am first in the initiative order, which is what I wanted. And then we're just going to straight up Misty Step from the amulet. No, we're not going to do that just yet. We're going to move. Going to move here. Just need to make sure that I have the exactly up here. And then activate my dash, because otherwise this would be a not very fun round of damage to go through. So I am going to dash and head into the astral portal. And now I'm going to be summoning something straight away, because there's a fight going on down here that I can get to pause if I add something into the initiative. So I'm just going to head down to the door to see. There we go. Oh. Anyway, let's prepare here. I'm just going to keep an eye on this. Scratch is now in the turn order. Okay, now I have the time that I want to prepare. Okay, so I did lose my mage armor, which means I need to recast that first thing.
I can't hold them back alone.
Very, very important. I am going to cast the armor of Agathis. I do think that it does not make sense to play around with the resources at this point. I am going to be summoning my Earth Elemental here. And it is going to be the Earth Elemental, I think, because of the prone value of the Earth Elemental. You could make the argument that I could do some shenanigans with some other things. But having the ability to prone some of those Githyankis is just too good. Some of the other elementals are also very strong. I'm going to summon this guy. I'm going to summon not the cheeky Quasit, because that's going to do things which are bad. I'm going to summon us. I don't want to summon the Quasit just yet, because he and Scratch are sharing initiative, and I'm worried that that's going to put me into combat, which I don't want to do just yet. Shield of Thralls, probably on the Earth Elemental, I'm guessing, which is a slightly less important detail. And then I don't want to do anything else just yet. I want to consider a couple of things. So, in terms of initiative, I mean, I do have time after the first two Githyanki monks. I'm just going to save the game real quick to reconsider my options. The Ketheric Shield is a very strong shield that adds to attack rolls and also adds advantage on dexterity saving throw, which is great to kind of counter the fireballs that we'll be facing. Once we get down to the 4 monks, I want to talk about each of the monks. Also for future reference for myself, it's nice to be able to go back and what thoughts that I have on it at that time, and what do I need to look out for in the future. Because this is a potentially deadly encounter if you don't know what your character can do and what you should do, what your options are. Of course, depending on your rule set and whatnot. But like for me, it is a very dangerous encounter always. And I am going to be dropping this hand crossbow as well. This is not an encounter where I want to. This is not an encounter where I want to. Where I want to experiment with. Where I want to experiment with haste, because the problem is that some of these guys will prone you, and that will end the haste, giving you lethargic. So I don't recommend haste for this fight unless you are very ballsy. And I was at some point I was very ballsy, and I am now longer particularly ballsy when it comes to that. So what I was considering is I probably want to just equip the Infernal Rapier for the simple reason that more is better. So we're going to get the Cambion out. We cannot unequip the weapon, but having the Cambion out now is valuable. Probably I will be using. Let us quickly check the Diadem of Arcane Synergy becomes infinitely less important once I don't have all of my charisma available to me. Then it just becomes kind of okay-ish. Whereas the initiative is king, but yeah, going into a different kind of thinking about adding on to this reverberation, I'm not sure that that's going to be very valuable to me. I think the armor class is going to be better in all instances in this fight. Is my opinion. Oh, hello, Squiz. You're doubling down on the. You already subbed. You already subbed to me. I think a couple of weeks back, a week back or something. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay. Do I want critical strike? Yes. I want critical strike. I want critical strike and paralyzing critical to take out one of the Githyankis in the early stages of the fight, for sure. I don't need it for the first couple of guys, but knowing myself, if I end up in a situation where I kind of have to over prepare, I end up messing it up. Okay, sleep tight, Squiz. Sleep tight. Okay, so don't want to over prepare because that is going to mess things up for me. I do want. Oh, that's not possible anymore. I should have blessed the Staff of Arcane Blessing prior to going in, but now that's no longer a possibility. And I am going to be in that situation where I need to very quickly move to a frontal, like a very aggressive position. That's my plan. Either I stay far away, but that runs the risk of, once you get down into this area where you have to fight the boss and all that, if you get into a position where you can get knocked off the edges and die from falling into the chasm, that's very dangerous. So I have to kind of make up my mind: do I jump straight in there or do I stay back? And it's not a very easy call to make, in my opinion. I think it all depends on the setup, it depends on the turn order and all kinds of other things. Callous Glow, I probably want probably I want that one actually for now for these guys. Or do I? I do kind of want to check one thing actually that I was thinking about. I don't know if this goes for this item, the Infernal Robe. I don't know if the Infernal Robe, if the Fire Shield is going to last. I don't want to equip it if that's the case anyway. But I don't know if the Fire Shield stays on me when I drop the item from it being equipped. That's something I've been wanting to check. And then I forget if there is any. There is hold person in this fight. There is hold person in this fight. So having the Finger free action is an absolute necessity. And I almost forgot. Almost forgot. I think this is the setup that I want to run with. I feel very comfortable that this is a responsible setup for this fight. I mean, you could make the argument that the Hellrider Pride, along with the Amulet of the Harpers, no, sorry, that made no sense. Alongside with, if you can get a good initiative, being able to Hellrider Pride, what is that called? Blade Ward, along with the healing necklace. That did I sell that off? Why can I not find my healing necklace? I actually sold that off. It's right there. So the healing necklace with the Hellrider Pride, you could make the argument that if you can keep some of the intellect devourers in the fight for a longer time, that's going to be extremely beneficial to you. But I think that no matter what, it's going to be a bit of a shit show down there. And I actually think I made one major mistake here. It's not a major mistake, but I do think that I actually need to equip the Darkfire shortbow. Because I think I do need the fire resistance for this fight. Because the fireball and the fire spells can be nasty. So having that bonus action and not having it, of course, is not... Having your bonus action is nice, but I also have other stuff to use it for. So I'm going to equip the Darkfire shortbow. Just forgot how important that can be, and I think I'm ready to jump in now. I want to do a short rest here. Party members in danger. All right, so I have to go and do the fight here before I can do the short rest. Let's head down here. Can I actually shoot them from up here?
I need you now.
I think we're also going to go up here. I have no idea if this is like a safe place to be.
The skull. Come to the skull.
Just gonna head down here by my Earth Elemental. A little bit afraid of doing anything out of the ordinary. Now comes the fireball. That's the thing. Just having that fire resistance for this is like it's just nice. Am I going to be able to push this one out? So goodbye. This is a high gauge, so I think this is one of those that cast the whole person.
It's not over. Come to the skull. Not over. Come to the skull.
So, alright, so now we do the short rest here. And then I think probably preparing with stuff like the jump spell, I think is nice to have on me. Also going to renew the armor of Agathis and using this spell here. And then switching in, and I'm just doing a couple of things. I'm casting a couple of spells that I'm then going to rebuff my spell slots with a short rest. That's the warlock ability. So that's why some of the things here happen in slightly quick manner here, because I've done this so many times and it's hard to remember that I need to just quickly think about. I'm going to equip the Surgeon's Subjugation Amulet because I do want to see if I cannot get that stun, that 2 turns of paralyze in on the high Gith, on the boss there, because if I can get that in, I feel a bit more comfortable with dealing with his friends. So, and with a high armor class, I think I'm just gonna jump straight into the mechs, or somewhere close to that. Probably not in the middle, because that's going to set me up for the fireball. That's the other consideration that I need to think about. But maybe they won't do the friendly fire, which is also something that I could check while doing it this way. The dog is dead, so I do want to summon a closet here. Doesn't count as a bonus action, it's just a free action apparently. And then I want to equip the other ring, the ring of free action obviously. And then what I want to do at this point is... Oh wait, we need to jump down here first.
It's not over.
Then I'm going to turn base here.
I need you now.
Because if there's something that I detest more than anything, it is when my creatures are just in an odd position and not in any way, shape or form close to the action. Okay, so I'm just accepting anything. The fight has now begun, and where is Wyll? Wyll is all the way up there. That's a... I've never tried this before. Okay, let's see what happens here then. Getting your coterie with you, and I didn't get my... I didn't take my short rest. Okay then, no spell slots available for this. God damn it. That's not entirely the way that I wanted it to go. So the question is here, how far will these guys go? And this is the... No, this is not the guy. This is the one I want to stun. So, where do I want to position Wyll? Don't want to position Wyll very forward. Probably going to move this guy here, I think. Just going to try this out. Don't quite know if it's a good idea to tempt these guys or not. This guy I think has fire resistance. I'm just going to double check this. Yeah. So if he decides to shoot, this is kind of irrelevant. Just going to keep this guy in the fight, and then thinking that I also wanted the skeleton. This is part of the preparation process that kind of messes up a little bit for me. Where do I position myself? Is this a good or a bad position to be in? Probably it's fine. So anything I can do, like prebuff wise, blade ward. I'm not sure they can move this far, can they? I'm going to end the turn. We'll see. There's the fist. And he stays on his spot. Probably these guys are going to be cannon fodder. I expect them to die, but I just want to bring them into the fight. There is a stun on the prelate. And since they have a lot of HP, I'm not going to be able to just destroy them. It's going to be a fight that's going to take a couple of turns. no matter what. So, and then go to this location, I think. There we go. Okay, now Wyll is up. Okay, Wyll, show us the money. So the high gish here, I'm guessing that probably a jump. Just need a location. Now, probably I'm going to take a bit of heat. That's what I'm assuming here. I have one round, I think, of the Blade Ward, and I have the Bludgeoning Resilience. So I probably should have gone with the Psychic for this. I'm not going to... I don't want to stun this guy. I'm just going to take that one round of action there. And then I need to preoccupy this fella. That is like my... Oh, can't go all the way up there. That is unfortunate. Just going to try and focus down this one. If I can manage to get at least one of these down, I'm a very happy person. Fireball on Earth Elemental and Wyll. Yeah, there we go. And here comes the jump. Now he's going for me. And there we go. With the knockback. Right. So let's just quickly check. I'm still kind of wanting to bring this guy down. I mean, I could go... This guy is currently not particularly dangerous. So let's see what... Oh, he dominates. But that should end in a moment, probably. The dominate ends immediately. Okay. Right, and here is Shovel. And Shovel, of course, you have a very important job here. Which is to frighten this guy. There we go. Look at him. Very, very scared. And now, I think... I need to go and see if I can't make the Prelate lie down. Or maybe, let's see, who's up? Prelate is next. So Prelate for sure. If I can prone that guy, that's going to be extremely advantageous. Critical miss. So that didn't happen. And she prioritizes the Earth Elemental. Was that a prone? Was that the prone? That was the prone. Okay. So now... I don't have a lot of movement. I have both my actions, which this is a very unfortunate situation because I'm very worried about where to go so that the Zephyr will not destroy me. So, and I also want to critically hit the Prelate. So I don't know at this point if there's a particular place and spot that I can go to that's going to help me out. I don't have any spell slots. Because I'm an idiot. I'm going to do this. And this guy... At this point, like, I even want to just stun this guy and get him out of the game. But my Cambion is also going to die. There are so many problems here for me. Okay, so I actually can do that jump. Okay, I am going to do that jump. And then I'm going to do this the way that I planned it. Come on. So now, 2 turns of Paralyze. And then probably I'm going to change the resistance that I'm running to Psychic Resistance. Do I have a better bonus? Oh, this is a free action. Okay, so Psychic Resistance. Let's go. So already this guy is just... Can't let him go just yet. He's in a... It's a very fragile position. Okay, that brought him off balance, and that thus taking away his attack of opportunity. Now, what was it? Something about disadvantage on strength and dex, and attack rolls against it have advantage. Okay, that's helpful. Okay. Alright, let's just see what happens. So he jumps, and he decides to go for the Emperor. Thank God. So frightened. Oh, but that takes away its action, right? Oh, he still has the flurry. Alright, so the action was lost, but the frightened was cleared. Right. So now the paralyzed is still 2 turns, and we are looking at I'm going to take the opportunity attack because I want this. Oh wait, that was the same. You're just waiting for that chain lightning. You're like, please, Emperor, chain lightning. Just do something valuable in this fight. Okay, so they're still all 4 of them up. The big bad one is still up. The Zephyr is still up. Like, everything is still up. So I'm in no way out of the woods on this one. In no way. I think probably to go up here and try to see if I can't prone this guy. I think that's potentially the most dangerous guy at this point because he has a full round of paralyze. Alright, so we're going to... Now the question is, do I want to haste? This is the big question at this point. Do I want to haste? The prelate is going to be up next turn. And if I haste, I open myself up to all kinds of things. And I need to make a decision. I could probably bonus action kill this guy with the repulsor. I think that might be the most responsible thing to do here. To get him out of the fight, but without spending too many resources. Right, so he's dead, and now let's see. This guy's just prone. I think he can still use all manners of nasty things, and I still have my action. And I'm just wondering, like, can I potentially send this guy flying somewhere? No. We're just going to go for the full blood burst on Prelate there, I think. And then I'm going to set myself up for some damage this round, which is fine. This is very fortunate. I feel like there are some of these Githyanki monks that have a tendency or like a preference to going for like specific targets in this fight. Potential prone here is just it's a game changer. And now she chooses the lesser targets. it doesn't seem like the resonating key is working either. Somebody else I was playing with made that point, so it does seem like there's something there that does not. So like, I'm going to trigger the attack of opportunity here, because if she hits, she's going to take damage herself, and probably still with a lot of AC there. I'm just going to take that shot, because no matter what, like, she needs to die, and then the bonus action this turn. Stage fright. And she's prone again. Is that it? Yeah, she's prone again. So now she's prone, so now I don't need to do anything there. I can just basically go to the other monk here and attempt the same thing. Now prone. Very, very effective. She does regain the turn, so there's that. That was the key blast, but it doesn't seem like it's actually damaging the target. So it's very strange. I'm going to shoot. She's out. Thank God. So if I go and I give this guy a shield, and I just stay in this position, this is a safe position, I think, at this point. And he's just keying in on the Emperor. Straight up, like, for no reason, but everybody else is keying in on me. See, there is that fist. And it's... So, like, no matter what in this fight, generally never be in a position where the Unbroken, the fist, the... whatever the name was, the Fist of Unbroken Air, whenever that has that any remote odds of pushing you anywhere that's dangerous, make sure that you don't put yourself in that position. And it can sometimes be very, very difficult to say, because sometimes it's like, you know, am I 6 meters away, or however much that is in feet. That's all I am saying here. So now he's going for me, right? There we go. Yikes. Come on, Emperor. And now, it's a little bit like the Emperor wants to steal the show. He could have thrown down a chain lightning at the beginning of the fight, and that would have been very helpful. But now, when there's like only one target left, what does he feel like doing? Chain lightning. Absolutely useless. Yeah, so going into the fight with no spell slots is not very optimal. And the choice between hasting myself and not hasting myself was pretty much based on whether or not that guy or girl, or Varric or whatever the name was, who can do the proning thing, that if that Githyanki monk is still up. That's pretty much what decides if it makes any kind of sense, I think, to use the haste. Because the second that you have, you know you won't lose concentration, and you feel safe in keeping the concentration, and there is nothing that's going to pull you out of that concentration. The haste spell is a very strong thing, because it gives you 2 actions per turn. So I would still argue that is better. All right. So we're going to have the story.